What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the arcade. And after a year plus of this game, this channel being completely radio silent, we are back. And I was away because my attention had to be put into my original channel because of a very specific game that had come out at the time, and to where my interests were also at the same time. And since recently that game itself was announced that it would, unfortunately, after 6 months of its release, would be entering the sunset stage. In other words, in about 5.5 months from now, the servers are going to be shut down, and that game is no longer going to be available. Plus the fact that I've, after 12 plus years of just playing mostly multiplayer shooters, over the last 10 to 12 years of my gaming journey, so to speak, I've pretty much had enough of the multiplayer shooter genre, and I want to go back to my gaming roots, so to speak. And I was always a variety gamer, and I've always had that concept in mind, even in the past, before that game being X Defiant, which is what the game was called. Before that game came out, I had obviously created this channel because I had that interest of doing what I have literally just started to do today. And what I actually started doing over a year ago, when I made those couple of retrospective videos, which were the kind of videos that I've always wanted to make, but they take so much time to produce. So they're not going to be happening as often. But there's going to be a lot of things that will be happening simultaneously, actually, if you think about it. So I'm going to get into that. But I first want to say thank you to those of you that are still around, that have been subscribed since this channel was created. And I also wanted to say thank you to those of you that were on the original channel that have decided to follow me on here, because this is where I'm going to be, and I'm also going to be on Twitch. Now, as far as Twitch is concerned, what I'm going to do, and again, it correlates with this channel. So actually Twitch and everything that goes on here on this channel on YouTube are going to be kind of co-relating, so to speak. They're going to be kind of assisting each other, so to speak. So how's that going to work? Well, what's going to happen is, the plan is that pretty much every time I game, I want to be live on Twitch. And obviously you're going to be hearing me. I'm going to be interacting with the audience. And on days to where the audience is not really talking all that much or at all, I am still going to be talking. So you're not just going to be watching the gameplay, but you're also going to be listening to me as if it was kind of like a live comm session, right? But obviously, if you're there on stream, it'll actually be live. But that footage is also going to be recorded at the same time. So that way, when I'm done with that, I can cut it into chapters and trim the fat off, so to speak, and post them on here in playthrough form, so to speak. So let's say I'm playing a game and I'm on mission one. Mission one, depending on how long the game is and how long the missions are, they'll either be cut up into 1 or 2 or 3 pieces per video, depending on the length or whatnot. And I don't want them to be too long, but I don't want them to be too short either. So, and they're going to be put in chapters. And sometimes on stream, I will be playing multitude of different games per stream. So therefore, I'm going to be at times uploading more than just one episode in a game, right? If I'm playing a multitude of different games, then obviously in a day, I'll try to upload one episode per game until it's done, and then be done with that, et cetera, and around we go, and more games we play and everything like that. But it's not just going to be playthroughs of things that happened on live stream that are going to be put in video form on here. There's also going to be videos similar to this one, but talking about things like interesting things coming up in the gaming world, like for instance, for example, the Nintendo Switch 2, big stuff. Like the gaming news stuff is going to be like just the big stuff that I particularly, as someone who's a casual gamer at heart, would, be very, very excited about. Despite the fact that I've been gaming for 33 years, I don't know if that still considers as casual, despite the fact, I'm 40 and I've been gaming for over 33 years. So I don't know. I guess it depends on your viewpoint. But also, I'm going to be doing, like, every time I get through a game, I also want to do a review, even if the game is old, even if the game is new, even if the game is so old that it might as well be called retro. It doesn't matter. I want to give, after getting through that game, I want to give the game the respect and the honor by giving it a review, and in terms of what I thought about it. And I'm going to be doing it in a similar form like I'm doing this video here, to where there will be footage in the background of the game, of some of the more exciting parts or whatnot, a little bit of everything of that game, right? And you're going to have your commentary at the same time. But those types of videos also will not be crazy long. They're going to be anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes, let's say, for instance, for a review, unless it's a monster review and there needs to be a lot said. But for the most part, that's going to be the average of those. So the classic commentary type of videos will be a thing as well as the playthroughs. So it's literally going to be a little bit of a multitude of things on here. Now, some of you guys want retrospective videos because those are the only 2 videos as of the time of this recording that I have uploaded right now, and that's how I kind of started this channel. And at the time, I had a lot more time on my hands in terms of free time. And it was something that I always wanted to do because my editing skills are very, very basic. And I wanted to put myself to the test, and I always wanted to make one of those videos because at that time I was listening to so many retrospective videos, and I was kind of inspired to do so, and I did. And I know that there was also some stuttering in certain parts of the commentary, but I can assure you, in that case, they were actually scripted. Unlike this one here, they were actually scripted, and I ended up even doing multiple takes. But what happened was I decided to just go with the take that had the least amount of stuttering, because trust me when I tell you, I did multiple takes. I did the best I could, but because it was a new type of video to make, and because I felt like I was on the spot, despite the fact that nobody was watching me or listening to me live, it was something that kind of just made me a little nervous. It was new territory for me, despite the fact that it was the same thing. But it is what it is. I've been doing uncut commentaries a hell of a lot longer than I've been doing scripted ones. That's for sure. So the retrospective videos will be a once in a while occasion, but I still have it in me to do one every so often whenever I can. But again, between what I want to do on a regular basis on here and on a consistent basis, as well as the streaming and as well as working and sleeping and doing everything that I need to do in my personal life as well, there's only 24 hours in a day, and I can only do so much. But in terms of everything that I've discussed, besides the retrospective videos, that could be something that could definitely be done on a consistent basis. So that way there's always uploads going on the channel. And there will be times where there's going to be a multitude of uploads. So if your inbox gets spammed, that's usually because there's going to be another episode of another game be put up. But usually I will not be putting up multiple episodes for one game title, on the same day. I'll only be doing one episode per game title on a day. But if I play 3 different games in a day and I've got the footage, then I don't see anything wrong with uploading, 3 different types of content as opposed to, that. So I want to have a certain level of balance. And if I spam your inbox with uploads, it might as well be something a little different than what you've seen before in terms of what is played, or if I make a commentary style video like this one. But this video here was obviously necessary because I wanted to kind of bring you guys up to speed, and I also wanted to catch you guys up in terms of what you can expect on here, as well as for anybody that came over from my main channel that isn't quite sure but wanted to support me anyway, which I'm extremely grateful for. I also wanted to give you guys a heads up in terms of what the plans are as well. And again, there will be a multitude of games played. I've taken advantage of the holiday sale on Steam. I've also got an Xbox, which there's different games on there as well. I've been updating my PlayStation 4 hard copies, so there's plenty to go around. And obviously, I am also going to be taking advantage of some retro titles as well, especially when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out. I'm waiting for the Switch 2 to come out so that way I can get that. So that way I can also revisit not just Nintendo in general, but the OG games that I grew up playing when I was a kid. And then if they take it up a notch and give us even more games throughout the generations, you can bet your butt that I'll be taking advantage of that as well. And it will be here. So I'm really looking forward to building up the playlists on this channel. So that way one day it'll, like when you browse my channel, it'll seem like a freaking library of games and memories, which is exactly what the plan is for Jack's Arcade. So with that being said, I've pretty much think I've said enough on this one. So again, a very special thank you for those of you guys that are still around, that have been here from the start. And another special thank you for those of you that have decided to follow me on here, as well as over on Twitch for those of you guys that are interested. I would be streaming here, but in terms of how the algorithm works, YouTube streaming is a little bit weird on here. You kind of have to pick one or the other. So it's like, well, I can kind of have my cake and eat it too by doing Twitch as well as on here. So I had to make a choice, and it seems like Twitch, as far as that is concerned, and not interfering with YouTube in terms of the algorithm, just seemed like the more smart choice. So, but anyway, thank you all again for the support. Thank you for taking the time to watch and or listen to this commentary. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on stream, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.